What began as an online hashtag on Reject the Finance Bill quickly gained traction on various social media platforms, igniting a wave of Kenyan youth mobilizing themselves to come out and protest. Young Kenyan youth, the Gen Z, took to the streets across the country voicing their disgust and frustration against the tax increases that would lead to a higher cost of living. The Gen Z filled the streets singing and chanting in unison, carrying out their frustration at the government for passing a bill that would make life even harder for them.
The government is suffocating us. Exactly. We are peaceful.
The protest was sparked by the government's plan to increase tax hikes to raise more revenue. Some of the plans were to impose an 18% value-added tax on basic goods, including essential goods such as bread and mobile money that were exempt from taxation previously. As the cost of living continues to rise, young Kenyans grapple with issues such as high unemployment rates. The government's increased taxes were considered burdensome by the Gen Z, who viewed life as already being hard. On the 25th of June 2024, the fight against the finance bill by the Gen Z reached a boiling point when protesters breached Parliament's gates. Reports indicate at least 50 people have lost their lives and hundreds more injured across the protests. Violent clashes with the police were witnessed as the police used live ammunition together with tear gas and water cannons against the protesters. Dramatic scenes, including the members of parliament running for their safety, the burning of government buildings, and lifeless bodies lying in the streets, signaled a deeper crisis. My journey took me to the streets to get to hear various Kenyan views on their experience during the protests.
The Constitution is respected. Article 37 of the Constitution be respected. No one is incarcerated for protesting without destroying properties.
How important was social media in mobilizing the youth when it came to these protests?
Okay, social media was used as a tool by the Gen Zs to communicate to one another, to mobilize one another.
6th of June 2024, President William Ruto, in his address to the nation, withdrew the finance bill, citing the public outcry against it.
I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 finance bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn, and I have agreed with these members.
The announcement was, however, met with skepticism by many protesters who felt that blood did not have to be shed for the bill to be rejected. As the sun falls in the west, key questions remain unanswered. Will justice be served for the murdered victims during the protests? Will the police who committed the heinous act of killing innocent Kenyans whose only fault was to follow their rights under the Constitution to protest be brought to justice? The Kenyan youth demand for answers. The protest against the finance bill has been a protest unlike any other. A protest that is not bound by tribe or a political party, but by youth demanding for accountability from their government. As the young generation continue demanding for accountability, questions on whether the government will listen to their call for change remain unanswered. The young generation has ignited a serious conversation when it comes to the accountability of the government and the direction the nation is heading. The youth continue to ignite and cry for change in the country's leadership.
Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Ajiji kumewaka sana, na mabistu wanachafua rada. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza.